Hey everybody, Scott Steen with the Winners and Whiners coming to you from the Wayne Larrabee studio deep in the bowels beneath the earth of the Winners and Whiners Sports and Entertainment Complex to talk a little bit about the first semifinal game today, the Cotton Bowl, featuring the Notre Dame Fighting Irish against the Clemson Tigers. Tigers are a 12.5 point favorite over the Irish. By the way, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check us out. Leave me comments about what you're playing today in this game and all the other games. And yeah, if you get those right, we'll give you a shout out. We've been a little low on shout outs the last couple of days. Been really busy putting these all together, so that will calm down, and we will definitely get the shout outs. And one last thing, don't forget to check out winnersandwhiners.com and statsalt.com for deeper dives into all of these contests, not just the bowl games, but all the NFL games, NHL, NBA, college basketball, every single day. Our professional handicappers over there do a great job, and yeah, check it out. You will dig it. All right, now moving on. Taking a look at this contest here. Tail of the tape goes a little something like this. How they got here, Notre Dame finished 12-0 on the season. They are an independent, so they did not have a conference championship game, while the Clemson Tigers won the ACC and finished a perfect 13-0. Neither of these teams were great against the number. Notre Dame just 6-5-1 against the spread, 6-6 overs versus unders, while the Clemson Tigers 7-6 against the spread, and they were also 6-6 overs versus unders. This game right here, it's good news and bad news for anybody who wanted new blood in the college football playoffs. The bad news, Clemson's making their third trip in 4 years to the playoffs. And, fun fact, the seniors on this team, they are an amazing 54-4 over their 4-year career at Clemson. Good gravy. On the other hand, the Irish are making their first trip to the playoffs, like we said, and it's also the first time a non-Power 5 school has made an appearance in the postseason playoffs. So good for them. It, maybe should have been Central Florida last year, but hey, we'll take what we can get, and Notre Dame is what we can get right now. Both of these teams played a good but not great schedule. Notre Dame, they do their Notre Dame thing. They take all comers. They beat 8 bowl teams. The teams that were not bowl teams that they beat were Navy, USC, and Florida State. Not exactly weak sisters there, and teams that normally would be perennial bowl teams as well. Clemson, on their schedule, they beat 11 bowl teams. The only non-two teams that they did not beat was Florida State and Louisville. Neither had that real killer win. Notre Dame beat Michigan in their first game of the season. 7-point win, a good win to be sure, but Michigan wasn't exactly Michigan that we saw later in the season at that point. And Clemson, they're probably one of their signature win was probably over A&M on the road. Like I said, they had some other good wins against bowl teams, but they did beat Texas A&M on the road, kind of a slightly above average Aggies team, and they struggled. They very easily could have lost that game. However, it was just the second game of the season, and the quarterback for Clemson, they still hadn't really kind of decided who was going to be the quarterback at that point, and that's very, very different than they were the second week as to what they are now. Um, when I match up the units, it's hard not to give the nod to Clemson. They're better on both sides of the ball, and the question then becomes, can they cover? And that is a legitimate question. But, like we said, Clemson lost 6 times against the spread. However, 4 of those times were huge spreads over 24 points. When the spread was in that spot between 10 and 20 points, they were much better. They were 4-1, and like I said, the only one they failed to cover there was the game against A&M when they just won by a single score. But like we said, that was Trevor Lawrence's just his second game. They had just really decided on their quarterback a couple weeks earlier, and the freshman getting the nod there. So he's grown up a lot, and I think by this time in the season, he's probably not even a real freshman anymore. Probably closer to a little more experienced sophomore. Notre Dame, they have some troubling wins, even though they were undefeated. They had some wins that were only one score, and against some bad teams, some second level teams, not bad teams again, but second tier teams like USC, Pittsburgh, Vanderbilt, and probably the most troubling one of those was a 7-point win over just an absolutely dreadful Ball State team. Again, early in the season, so we can kind of discount that as everybody's finding their way around. But yeah, it did happen. So, and I know everybody wants to talk about losing Dexter Lawrence for Clemson. Sure, that's absolutely a player you want in the mix. That's going to be a first-round NFL talent, and taking away his career mark of 133 sacks, 19 and a half tackles for loss, and 10 and a half sacks is going to absolutely make a difference for Clemson. However, the good news is they are way deep on defense. He's not the only NFL player that's going to be coming out of that defense. In fact, he's probably not even the only NFL player that's on the defensive line. I like that. I think Clemson is deep, and I think, well, obviously you'd want him in the game. I don't think his absence is going to be felt like it would on a unit that has less pieces. To me, this is going to be a close game for a while. I think Notre Dame can hang with them for a little bit, but I think the superior talent of the Clemson Tigers eventually grinds down the Irish. I like Clemson to cover the 12.5 against Notre Dame in this spot. All right, guys, thanks very much. We'll see you on the next video. We're going to take a look at the other semifinal game between Alabama and Oklahoma. Take care. Good luck. Hey, get your money down on Clemson, all right? I know it's been a rough couple days here, but hang with us. Get your money down on the Tigers, and I think you can join me as we head back to the window. Take care, everybody. Good luck.